week on Worldwide Gaming, I review Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Lysander's personal top 10 favourite games, and a bumper two-part interview with the executive producer on Lords of the Fallen. Hello and welcome to Worldwide Gaming. I'm your host Ryan.
I'm Lysander.
I'm Vince.
And today we're actually looking at your top 10 games, Lysander.
My top 10 favourite games.
Yeah, so we can, judge you behind... Well, you don't actually have to do it behind your back anymore. We can do it to your face when you get to your top 10.
On TV?
Yeah.
I already had my chance to judge you on TV, so I guess it's only fair.
Yeah, kind of like pass it around.
No one judged me. Ah.
Just
Everyone judged you. No one needed to judge you. We already knew what your top 10 games was.
Yeah. All right, now it's time for the forecast.
Earth's outer atmosphere is looking pretty hot in the upcoming space strategy game Habitat. Coming to PC and current-gen consoles soon, the game tasks the player with constructing a base out of the space junk floating around Earth. We think it sounds pretty cool, giving it a 2. Spiritual successor to Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles Cross, is coming to the Wii U in 2015. We are fairly excited for this one, giving it a 2.
それでこんな星まで来たのに殲滅するのさ。それが私たちブロース。もしかしたら宇宙から消え去った方がいいのかもしれない。私らとお前らは共存なんてできないんだ。
じゃあ僕たちはもう
The newest game by Borderlands creators, Battleborn, sounds pretty hot. Looking like it may give Gearbox another winning franchise, we give it a 3.
I'm true Uruk, not even afraid of 2 crowds.
Despite not being in the name, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is an open-world game set in the Lord of the Rings universe. Which had me worried, since I'm familiar with a few of the older Lord of the Rings video games, but I never really liked them as they always had simple controls or just overall boring gameplay. Shadow of Mordor sets itself apart not only in namesake, but by having one of the most interesting new gameplay systems in recent memory, the Nemesis system. But more on that later. In Shadow of Mordor you play as Talion, a soldier stationed at the Black Gate of Mordor. After your family is slain in front of you by the evil Sauron, you too are sacrificed only to be revived by a raised spirit known as Celebrimbor. Celebrimbor merges with your body, giving you special powers, and as the game progresses you slowly find out that Talion's quest isn't too different from Celebrimbor's. And throughout the game, you'll travel through an open world Mordor, meeting characters that will help you find revenge. At first, the open world seems quite small, however there are plenty of activities packed into it. Between legend missions, hunting missions, and outcast missions, you'll sometimes forget that there are actual story missions to do as well, which is really the highest praise you can give to any open world game. Halfway through the game, you'll open up another area for you to explore, effectively doubling the amount of places to see. You may find the traversal in Shadow of Mordor quite familiar. You can climb almost any surface to get to a higher vantage point or sneak around a situation, which you'll do a lot of. The game focuses a lot on stealth throughout missions, allowing you to pick off orcs one by one until you get caught and need to fight your way out. That is, except for a few stealth missions that you'll come across that will follow you as soon as you are spotted. These felt really out of place, as the game usually leaves you free to complete missions however you see fit.
Back to die again? You're such a determined little thing. You like a nagging dog.
Combat is also quite familiar with a simplistic system based on timing and combos. You have 3 weapons to use in combat that can have runes placed on them to have special effects, and by leveling up or completing bonus objectives, you can also unlock new abilities to use. You have a sword for regular combat, a dagger for stealth, and a bow for range. Pulling back on the bow engages a slow-mo focus mode that allows you to pick off orcs with headshots, which is extremely useful for when you're both in and out of combat. While combat may seem simplistic, there are certain high-ranking enemies such as war chiefs and captains that will have strengths and weaknesses that may make them invulnerable to your bows or stealth attacks. This is where the new Nemesis system comes into play. The Nemesis system shows a hierarchy of all high-level orcs. At first, each captain will be blacked out, and you'll need to gain intel from enemies to figure out where they are, what they look like, and what their strengths and weaknesses are. Each captain has different animations, models, allegiances, and voices, and are unique to your playthrough, making the game feel like a living and breathing world. Figuring out the best way to take someone down is key, as if you fail, the orc will gain a power ranking, making them harder to take down next time.
Reckon your scalp is worth some kind of reward, eh?
The best part is that the orcs will also fight each other to gain ranks and get more powerful. This can happen in a few different ways, such as duels, where 2 orcs fight head to head, ambushes, where 1 orc will be outnumbered by another orc and his followers, and a few other ways. You can watch these battles pan out by themselves, or try to intervene to take one or both of them out at once. If you ever run away or die by a captain's hand, they will remember you and taunt you the next time you try to battle them, encouraging you to form small relationships with certain high-ranking orcs. There will always be that one orc that you can't kill, or the one that you hate because he keeps taunting you for running away the last time you fought. The system is so expansive and fresh that it could be almost the main focus of the game by itself, if there wasn't plenty of story missions and side quests already.
Oh, I do like seeing you in pain, over and over again.
Although aspects of the game can feel a bit derivative of other franchises, the inclusion of the Nemesis system makes Shadow of Mordor one of the most interesting games to come out this year. Don't be surprised if you see Nemesis-inspired systems in games in the future. Even being set in the Lord of the Rings universe, which would usually have me avoiding games, didn't affect my enjoyment of the game.
Happy anniversary, my love.
So Shadow of Mordor, it's an excellent game. It's really fun, especially using like the Nemesis system to try and, take down orcs, getting them promoted, and just to knock them back down and like slice their heads off.
Honestly, just hearing about that, I thought like the level of complexity I was hearing about, I was like, wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, and because each orc is different, or orc, it makes each fight against them really different, and that's why it keeps it still like fresh and stuff.
Were you a big fan of the Lord of the Rings series prior to playing this?
No, I was. I've seen some of the movies, but I don't know. I never was that big into Lord of the Rings, but it's just a point in the game's favor that I can play a Lord of the Rings universe game and still really enjoy it.
Okay, yeah, because I wasn't a big fan of the Lord of the Rings either, but after hearing you say that, I'm definitely going to.
All right, right now we'll go to a break, but stay tuned because afterwards we have Lysander's Top 10. Hey guys, if you want to check out what the WG crew is doing, check out our Facebook. Also, on our YouTube channel, we have previous episodes, blooper reels, and extended cuts. Lastly, if you want to find it all in one place, check out our website. See you after the break.